Okay, this is a lesson on some of the licks that I've played in Dolphin Dance. I think we've got 10. Yeah, and I'll talk you through them and play them at a moderate speed and slow. So, first one. First 4 bars. First, it's C minor 7 to A flat major 7 to C minor 7 to A minor. So the first one, just play up E flat major 7. So that's all very standard within C minor 7. And on the last beat, I've got A to G sharp or A flat to G to A. So I'm thinking F7 instead of C minor. So I'm thinking of the 2-5 pair, C minor 7, F7. So I'm using a sort of boppy kind of chromaticism between the third of F7, which is the 5 to the 2, which is C minor 7. And it's kind of targeting the root of the A flat. And then down A flat Lydian. Well, that's Lydian bebop, so it's the Lydian scale. But I'm doing that beboppy thing of having a chromatic note between the 6th and the 5th. So that rather than it's just like Lydian bebop. And in the second half of the bar, I'm doing what Freddie Hubbard did in terms of what harmonies implying. So rather than a whole bar of A flat major 7, sharp 11, in the second half of the bar I'm implying a secondary dominant leading to the C minor. So I'm playing G7 leading on to the C minor. So that bar, so it's not tree surgery, but you know, there's some harmony to it. So if you think G7 in the second half of the bar, the fifth, the fourth, the major third, the flat 9 to the root. So there's that like G Phrygian dominant kind of vibe. When I get to the C minor, again I'm using the chromatic link between G and A. So I'm thinking F bebop. So I go A flat, G A flat A. So bebop beat linking the ninth of F to A the third, or you can think of it as the fifth of C minor 7, which is the actual chord you're playing over, to the sixth. So you're getting that sixth in there, which is a colourful tone. Then I do this chromatic thing. Can't remember where I got the idea from, but the third of C minor 7 to the fifth, and then go to the flat 5 of C minor 7 to the ninth to the fourth. But you could also think of that as an F kind of chromatic, F beboppy F kind of thing. So if you're thinking of C minor 7 to F7 pair, that would be in terms of F7 flat 9, 9, flat 9, 6 to root, and then just going down the arpeggio of C minor 7. Over the A minor 7, I played the ninth, the fourth, the ninth, third, fifth, major 7. So that's just a little bit of a melodic minor touch there with the G sharp, but I didn't do too much with it. So that's the first lick. A second lick is bars 9 and 10, where you get 2 bars of C minor 7. So what I'm doing here. So slowly. So the first bar is I'm playing C minor 6 pentatonic, which is C, E flat, F, G, A. Not C minor pentatonic, but C minor 6 pentatonic. So I've got the bright sound of the 6 in there, which almost implies that you've done that thing I keep banging on about, which is to see C minor 7 not just as itself, but as part of a pair. C minor 7 to F7, which is a 2-5. Regardless of what key you're in or where you're going, you can often use that idea. So that's the first thing. 2 bars of C minor. The first bar is C minor 6 pentatonic, but then at the end of that first bar, now what I happen to have played in that C minor pentatonic is an F triad. And I thought, hang on a minute, take that F triad up a tone and play a G triad, which is outside the C minor pentatonic, obviously, but it gives you a bit of a C melodic minor kind of vibe. But there's a certain inner logic to it, because you're going from an F triad, from F to G. The power of that shape sort of caught my ear. So I went even further. So I went F triad, G triad, A diminished triad, which is obviously contained in the C minor 6 pentatonic. And at the end of the bar, I don't know why that made me think of Nothing Personal by Michael Brecker, or Mike Stern and Michael Brecker. So that would be, in terms of the minor 7, the 9th, major 7, 5th, minor 3rd, 9th. So there you go. That's what happened there. So this is bar 14, I guess, where you get a G7 sus chord. So this is the lick. So obviously, in a lot of cases, people would conceive of G7 sus4 as an F triad with G in the bass. So I was thinking, okay, you could also see that if you think of the top part of that chord, which is the F triad, if you want to scale based on F, it's going to be F Lydian, which is running G mixolydian from it's flat 7 degree. So it's got to be Lydian to fit the scale. But if you want some chromaticism, you can extend that idea by playing not just Lydian, but Lydian bebop. So we're adding a flat 6 passing note between the 6th and the 5th of F Lydian. So I'm just running the scale in first instance. So F, E, D, C sharp, D, B, A, G, F. So that's, instead of running down F Lydian, you've got a chromatic passing note between the 5th and the 6th. There you go. And then I did this thing, inspired by my friend Phil Robson, who used to do this when we were nippers, which is to pull off onto the open string to give a little bit of a bounce. There you go. So that's basically conceiving of G sus as F Lydian, and then, because I wanted some chromaticism, making that F Lydian with a passing note between the 5th and 6th, which kind of makes it Lydian bebop. That's what I would call it. Now the next one is over E flat 7 sharp 11, you know. Where you get that bit. So, see if you like this. Now that kind of sounds diminished, but it isn't. What I'm playing there over this E flat 7 sharp 11 is F major flat 6 pentatonic, and F major flat 6 pentatonic is sorry. So what am I talking about? It's root, 9th, 3rd, 5th, flat 6. So it's simply F, G, A, C, D flat. And obviously because it ends on the D flat, there's a whole major third interval between the last note of that pentatonic and the next step. So you get wide intervals. That's why it sounds like... You naturally get wide intervals on a minor pentatonic, but this is more striking. I love that lick, that concept. So that's F major flat 6 over E flat major 7. So you think about the notes there. F the 9th, G the 3rd, A the sharp 11, C the 13th, and D flat is the flat 7 of E flat. So a lot of colour in those extensions. And I use the same concept when you get the F sharp chord. So I've turned the F sharp chord into an F sharp altered chord. That's the chord that precedes where you've got B minor over E. So there's a decision. I'm seeing this as a dominant of the top of that structure. But anyway, this is what this lick sounds like. So that's D major pentatonic flat 6, D major flat 6 pentatonic over F sharp. So think of the notes there. You've got very colourful sound. You've got D, E, F sharp, A natural, A sharp. So that's your flat 7, or rather B flat to make it the flat 6. D, E, F sharp, A, B flat. And that gives you this. Gives you that sound. Okay, the next one. I'll have a single lick demonstrating this concept recorded pretty soon. This is a concept I really like. So where you got a 2-5-1 in G, half a bar each on A minor 7 to D7 to G. I'm using minor pentatonics ascending chromatically. So it sounds like this. I'll explain it in a sec. over A minor, I'm playing E minor pentatonic. Over D, I'm playing F minor pentatonic. And then over G. So I'm actually playing over the A minor, E minor pentatonic, over D7, F minor pentatonic, and over G, F sharp minor pentatonic. So they give you extra colors on those chords. So if you use E minor pentatonic over A minor, that gives you the 5th, the flat 7, the root, the 9th, and the 4th. So some color tones in there. If you use F minor pentatonic over D7, you get the sharp 9, you get the flat 5, you get the flat 6, you get the flat 7th, and the flat 9. So very colorful. So it gives you an altered sort of sound. So it's F minor pentatonic over D7. And one thing to keep in mind with this, you're looking, rather than learning just a lick to be used once, you should see these things as formulas. What's the formula? What's the interval between the root of the chord you're playing on and the pentatonic you're superimposing? So the relationship between F minor pentatonic superimposed over D7 is a minor third. So if you play over D7, you want an altered sound, play a minor pentatonic or any dominant sound, play a minor pentatonic with the root a minor third up, and then you get all those colorful tones. So when I get to my G major 7, I'm using F sharp minor pentatonic, which gives you the major 7, the 9th, the 3rd, the sharp 11, and the 6. So again, you've got a lot of color in there, but it sounds very Lydian. There you go. And moving on. So where you've got 2 bars of F minor 7, or some people play this 2 bars of F minor 7, some people play F minor 7 for a bar, B flat 7 for a bar. Either way, I'm using the same reasoning, which is to conceive of an extended period on a minor 7 as a 2-5, or I'm certainly can call on the resources of a 2-5. So rather than thinking if it was just F minor 7 for 2 bars, I might think of going from F minor 7 to B flat 7. So this is just totally stolen from Pat Martino. That's it, sorry. So that's just horsing around on the F minor arpeggio. So root, 9th, 4th, 9th to target the minor 3rd, then going up the arpeggio up to the 9th. And then this is a nice little beboppy kind of thing. So that's from the 9th of F minor to the flat 9 to the 6th, and then the major 7 targeting the 5th. Or you can see those same notes. So we're talking G to G flat to D, and then E to F. You can think of that in terms of B flat 7. If you think of it in as B flat 7, it's the 13th to the flat 13th to the 3rd, and then the sharp 11 targeting the 5th, and then running down the scale. So that's, I'm tempted to say that's the way I think of that. So that was that. Then the end of the first bar, second bar, down the bebop scale. So you've got a chromatic passing note between the root and the flat 7. The 5th, the 6th. Just bebop lines, basically, looking for chromaticism, which is basically, I haven't gone further in this lick than, in the second bar of this lick, than just simple bebop scale. So the passing note between the root and the flat 7. Okay, yeah, the next one is where you get a D over F. Despite the fact that's not a resolving dominant, because if you thought of it as an F7, with the F sharp of the D triad on top, that would make that F13 flat 9. So I thought, well, you've already got an altered note in there, so let's just play the diminished scale in there. So that's basically a D triad to an A flat triad to a B triad to an F triad. And there's one note in there, the last 16th note of the third beat is an E natural, which is targeting the F. It doesn't belong in the diminished scale. In fact, I did the same thing in the third note of the first beat. So a couple of times I've used E natural as a passing note, basically. So that's one note. If you see the notation, it's going to stick out a little bit because it doesn't belong in the diminished half step diminished scale, but it links nicely. So that's like an enclosure technique. F sharp, E, D, E flat, which is in the diminished scale, which is also in an A flat triad. So that's over. But also, because it's based on a diminished scale, that'll work on all the D7s in this chord sequence. So it's kind of routine, but I think the blatant use of triads makes for quite a defined sound. And it's nice sometimes to not play obvious repeating patterns, particularly not ones that go in minor thirds when you're using the diminished scale. Okay, another one. Just to contradict myself immediately after I've made that statement, over where you got B flat altered over an E flat. I'm just thinking of that as B flat altered. So I'm thinking B flat half step diminished. Let's get that cleaner. So it's just a diminished lick, a repeating kind of interval diminished lick. Those last 4 bars, there's a lot of contention about those chords. We may or may not get into that down the road. Okay, the last 2 bars of the sequence, last bar, I'm sorry, of the sequence, you get D minor 7 flat 5 to G7 altered, and this is the line I play on that. So over the D minor 7, I'm thinking Locrian raised to or natural 2. So the natural 9. So that was just Locrian, but with a natural 9 in the first half of the bar. But in the second half of the bar, I did the same trick I used earlier, where I wanted an altered sound on dominant 7. So I played a minor pentatonic with a root a minor third up. So I'm playing B flat minor pentatonic over G7 to give an altered sound. So if you think B flat minor pentatonic over G gives you the sharp 9, the sharp 4, the flat 13, the flat 7 and the flat 9. So it's all colour. So I'll write these licks out. I'll put them somewhere. I'll embed the licks or some of the licks in the performance video, which you've probably seen already. And I will post the licks either on a Buy Me a Coffee page or somewhere. Or there'll be a note at the bottom of this video. But thanks for watching and listening. I hope some of this is of use to you. I know it's a bit obscure to just be thrown a load of licks. But as I say, my first idea was to do a lesson for my students, and I thought all you other guys might find something, and I hope it's of some use to you. But thanks for listening. If you like this content, please subscribe, because it helps feed the channel and gives me more of an incentive to do more of this stuff. All the best. Good luck with it. Thank you.